do this! This lipstick makes my teeth look yellow. Here is a video that nobody asked for. Hey everyone, my name is rory.a.rauston. Welcome to my channel. For those of you who've been subscribing recently, welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and being a part of whatever the hell I'm up to today. What am I doing today? As most of you know, if you've been following my channel for a little while, I stopped and had a quick break and was like really slow with uploads because I was doing my thesis and it was a long and tiring process in general. I mean, all theses are whatever you're doing it in, doesn't matter, it's hard, it's meant to be hard. College does that to you on purpose because they're assholes. I did mine and I finished mine up in the smack middle of Mercury retrograde. It was so difficult and Mercury retrograde was just kicking my ass, honestly. I just felt like completely defeated by Mercury retrograde, okay? I was having my ass handed to me by a planet. But anyway, I got through it, and I know a lot of you have a lot of stuff to get through, and you know, Mercury retrograde comes at least 3 times a year, so definitely you're gonna be doing something important during that time, or any sort of work or study in general. So this video is 11 tips, witchy tips, on how you can get through work and studies easier. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you at the end. So the very first thing that I have for you is using yellow candles or yellow incense to burn, not just for the aroma, but for the color yellow, and you burn these to activate the solar plexus chakra. So the color for the solar plexus chakra is yellow, and solar plexus chakra is responsible for our motivations, our ambitions, our drive, any sort of, you know, like trying to get stuff done. If your solar plexus chakra is kind of underactive, then it's likely you're going to be... Now is apparently a good time to scratch in the litter box. Are you done? She's not done. What was I even saying? This stupid cat, she interrupts me every time I have a thought and then I've forgotten. So I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry, I will probably fix it during editing. Don't go breaking my heart. I couldn't if I tried. So by lighting candles that are... Whose video do you think this is? Yours? Oh, YouTube. Okay. All right. This is their channel now. Stop smelling his butthole. By lighting a candle or an incense that is yellow in color, you are activating the solar plexus chakra, and the incense and the candle will stimulate the, you know, the solar plexus chakra, which is here, by the way. These are my boobs, and this is where your heart chakra is, and this is where your solar plexus chakra is, just in the middle of the top of your stomach. That's where it is. Lighting this will activate your solar plexus chakra. The second thing I have for you is using crystals. There's a bunch of different crystals that you can use for a bunch of different purposes depending on what you're feeling. During the time that I went through mine, I was feeling a lot of anxiety and I was loathing myself. I felt like I was stupid. I felt like I couldn't do these things. I felt really demotivated, so I used 3 crystals. I used 3 crystals. I used the rose quartz crystals for self-love and to be like easier on myself and to calm myself and to tell myself that I am smart, I am worthy, I am loved by my damn self, and that I believed in myself. I used black tourmaline, which is my favorite negative energy banishing crystal. I mean, there's black onyx and a bunch of other black crystals, but for me personally, black tourmaline works the best, so I use it. And I used that to keep away negative energy from surfacing from me, of course, because a lot of the dark negative energy, bad thoughts, negative thoughts came from me. But also a lot of like external factors were getting me down. The weather was really bad when I was doing this. We had haze. I was facing a lot of drama at school and work. And I just finished my practicum, you know, my internship at that point. So I was facing a lot of negative energies from outside and inside, so I made sure to use black tourmaline to get rid of that. And I had Blue howlite. Yeah, I have blue howlite with me because I read that it was really good to counter anxiety, or to, I'm not sure if it's supposed to reduce anxiety or it absorbs the anxiety, leaving you feeling better. But I remember holding on to it while I was writing, and it really helped me. So the way that you can use this crystal, there's a bunch of ways. The simplest way is to just hold it and feel its energy coming through you, or if it's black tourmaline, feel the negative energy being sucked out of you. That's another way. Another way is, I don't do this because I'm a huge klutz and I'm very forgetful, so I can see this going badly, but I have heard of a lot of witches putting crystals into their bras, one in each cup, two in each cup. I don't know how it works. I don't have extra space in my bra, so I don't understand how people do that unless it's a really small crystal. Probably a small crystal. So they put it in their bra, and again, it's skin to skin contact, so it's filling them up, and they do that while they're moving around. If what you're doing is not something that you can sit at your desk and do, so if it's not studies, if it's work that you actually have to go around, then that would be a good alternative, because you don't have to constantly be holding on to something. You need both your hands, right? I didn't have to run around. I was just at a desk all day, so I was able to hold mine. The third thing is, I've heard of people just having them near where they're working and putting them in a line of, how do I say this? If the wind is blowing through, they would put the crystal there in the belief that the wind would blow the energies towards them and constantly fuel them with the energies from the crystal. Number 3, very simple, but honestly, this is something that motivated me the most. So number 3 would be just opening a window. I know, so simple, but I'm actually quite serious here. During the time that I was going through my thesis and writing it, we had really bad weather here. It was crazy hazy, it was awful. I'm very asthmatic and I was like suffering through the entire thing. But what helped me was there was this 1 or 2 days in the midst of this bad weather that the weather was actually really amazing, and I was able to open a window, and that was amazing. I felt all of the, because when you're in a room for a long time, your energy fills up the room. Whether it's positive or negative energy, your energy is going to fill up the room. And if it stays there and can't escape after a while, it doesn't matter if it was positive or negative to begin with, it's going to get kind of stale and kind of stuffy. So opening up your windows is a great way to release all these energies and allow new energies to come back in. I felt the most motivated and the most like pumped to do my work when I had my windows open and I had fresh air and sunshine coming in. It was amazing until I remembered that I live in the city and it's noisy and it does not smell good. Number 4, which we all do, but I thought I'd mention it anyway, is setting goals. And for each goal that you set, you have, you ask the spirit guides or whoever you believe in for help. If you are a God-fearing person, ask God. If you believe in spirits and spirit guides, good spirits, high vibrational spirits, ask them for help. So for me, setting goals is pretty easy. For example, I would first list out all the chapters in my thesis, then I would write down in point form all the things that I needed in each chapter, and then I would go through each chapter and then fill them out into long sentences, and then when I'd fill them out into long sentences, I would connect them to make paragraphs. That's just how I worked. I would set a specific goal and I would say to myself, okay, please help me. Before I would even start, I would say, okay, please help me with this, this, and this. And I would be really specific when I prayed. I would be like, please help me to say the right words. Please help me to be precise. Please help my information to be accurate. Please allow me to use the words that would best fit this description, that would convey my point. I was really specific on what I wanted. And when I finished the goal, I would thank whoever I asked to help me with that. And then I would move on to the next thing and start the whole thing all over again. Spirit guides, please guide me as I do my work today. I have 5 things that I want to accomplish today. Please be with me as I accomplish the following goals. Please allow me to finish chapter 1 of my thesis. Please allow me to go back and proofread chapter 3 and 4 of my thesis. Please keep me motivated throughout the day. Allow me to do at least 4 hours of work today. Please give me the discipline, the strength, and the intelligence to complete this task. Number 5 is invoking the use of herbs and oils, and for me, my go-to during this trying time was rosemary oil. If you ever need a herb or an oil that you do not have, rosemary herb and rosemary oil can replace absolutely any herb or oil. I really do believe that. I understand that there's some people out there who don't agree with me and they're like, no, you have to follow the spell ingredients exactly in order for it to work. For you people out there, 100%, whatever you believe in is your magic. But for me, I believe that rosemary is so powerful and so diverse that it can be used for anything. I use rosemary oil during this trying time in 2 ways. The first way is I put it into a Bunsen burner and I put a few drops with water at the top, lit a candle underneath, and my whole room smelled of rosemary oil. It was very relaxing, but it also wasn't like putting me to sleep. It made me feel like really motivated. The second way that I use rosemary oil, and you can only do this if you use, I think it's called pure oil, or there's a certain term. If I remember the term, I'll put it somewhere on the screen. But it's not the kind of oil that's meant for burning in the Bunsen burner. This is meant for being on your skin, like a massage oil. Like it's meant for human use, to be on your skin. And I would rub it onto my temples, and I would put a little bit at the edge of my clothes so that every time I looked down and felt a little bit like this is too much, I would get a whiff of it and I would feel better. And that really, really helped me. Number 6. What is number 6? Tea. Doesn't have to be tea, it could be any kind of beverage, but for me, tea was a big thing in terms of calming me down, keeping my anxiety and my stress levels really, really low. And for me, I used peppermint tea because we had chamomile in the house, or chamomile, however you pronounce it. I am no expert. Although ironically, my thesis and my degree is in English. Chamomile, however you'd like to say it, that tea, we had it in our cupboards, and I tried it for the first couple of days, but it was very, very relaxing in the sense that it actually put me to sleep quite a few times. I was feeling really relaxed and drowsy, and it just wasn't working for me. It might work for you, but it didn't for me. So for me, it was peppermint all the way, and I used peppermint tea. I drank it, 1 tea bag I used twice because I'm like that. I know that some people say that you shouldn't because of the preservatives in it or whatever, but I would boil it with hot water the first time, and then when I finished that cup, I would put boiling water into it again, let it soak twice the amount of time than the first time, and I would have the same amount of tea as the first time. I used it twice. So I would have it once in the morning, first thing when I woke up and I was just about to start my work, and then I would have it halfway throughout the day just to finish the second half of my work before I would call it a day. Number 7, and this one I hated doing, but it was really, really important, so I'm going to share it with you. Number 7 is grounding. Now, grounding is something that we do for spell work before and after. It's really good for bringing us back after we've really exerted a lot of our energy everywhere. It's good to, keep, when they're like, oh, you need to keep yourself grounded, like don't have your heads up in the clouds and stuff like that. That's what they mean when they say grounding. So there's many different types of ways that you can ground yourself. There's a whole list online. You can look it up easily, so I'm not going to give it to you here. I'm just going to tell you what I did. And to ground myself, I did it in 3 different ways. The first way is through meditation. I would meditate for 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes after my second cup of peppermint tea halfway through my work. The second way that I would ground myself is by going to a waterfall that is near my house, and this was difficult because the waterfall was quite high up. It is quite high up. So it's a bit of I would say a 15-minute hike, but it's quite a steep hike and you have to climb over things. It's not just like a trail that you can walk up. And I would soak myself in the waterfall for a good 3 hours. I mean, sometimes there were people around, so it was hard to just, be zen. But I would sit there and soak myself in it, and it would help me to feel better. And it was something that, it was like, if I was at a breaking point, that was what I would do to break myself out of that mindset that I couldn't do it. The fresh water was amazing. I felt like all the negative energy was pumped out of me and all of this high vibrational energy was pushed into me. And being in nature is amazing, and being on a waterfall, that cold water, that energy that it carries, and I don't just mean like, oh, the metaphysical energies of the universe, the actual energy, the kinesthetic energy of water gushing through and past you, you feel amazing. If you have a waterfall near you, a stream, a river, I highly recommend that you try that. And the third thing that I would do to ground myself is play basketball with my uncles. They're not around very often, but when they are, it's pretty fun. And we all used to be on the team in high school. They're our own respective teams. They're much older than I am. They were never on my team. But we all were in a basketball team when we were in high school. And every time we get together, we do try to have a game or two. So that was another thing that I would do. Like I said, I didn't enjoy grounding so much because for me, it was just so much time taken away from my work that I knew was due very soon. But it is so important to take care of yourself and to keep yourself grounded. Otherwise, you get lost in your work, your head's in the clouds, and it sucks out so much of your energy. Number 8, sigils and symbols. Now, I plan on doing a whole video about sigils because I love sigils. They're so fun to make. They're so fun to do and customize. So if you're interested in that, comment down below so that I know you're interested in how to make your own sigils. Long story short, sigils are just these little symbols that you make yourself that are tailor-made to the desire that you want. You want to lose weight, you want to be more motivated, you want to be a more chatty and outgoing person, you use sigils and you customize the sigil to be what you want. Symbols, on the other hand, already exist. I personally use alchemist symbols. They have been established and used for hundreds of years, if not thousands. I'm no expert in this. And I didn't really use a lot of symbols. I mostly use sigils because, like I said, I like to customize it to what I use. But if you are interested in using symbols to help you out, here's how you use them. If you are doing a piece of work, I would recommend drawing the symbol nearby or possibly on your work in maybe pencil, something that you can erase off afterwards. And this will help you with whatever it is you want. Now, some examples of some symbols to use are as follows. So the first one I have for you is Mercury for clear thought. So Mercury is the planet of communication. And again, I did mine during Mercury retrograde, so I did not call upon Mercury because that planet was out to get me at that point. But Mercury is the planet of communication, and invoking the powers of Mercury can help you with clear thought, clear communication, and help you to properly express yourselves with the terminologies and jargon that you need to use. The second one, which I almost did use, is Mars, the symbol for Mars. Mars is like the masculine energy planet, that drive, that motivation, that aggression for passion and, ambition. So if you're interested in like getting some ambition put into you, maybe try the Mars symbol. Next up, we have, Saturn. Okay, so Saturn is what I did use. I did use this one, I have to say. And I used it towards the end of my thesis. And I drew it on the back. And I left it there for a few days. And I prayed over it for a few days. And then I erased it off just before I handed it in for submission. And it is the planet of success and achievement. So I use Saturn in order to invoke achievement to help me actually finish my thesis, and I was so close to the end of doing it, and I just used Saturn to help me wrap everything up. And the last one, which depends on what you're doing, I suppose, but Uranus is a good one. Uranus is for things like the uniqueness, really standing out. If you want your essay to stand, I would recommend using the powers, the energy from Uranus to help you with that. I will put all of the sigils on the screen, the symbols on the screen somewhere so that you know what it is. But I recommend you going and having a look at symbols for yourself that would work for you. Number 9, simple but necessary. Positive affirmations. You are worthy. You are smart. You are capable. You are strong. You are intelligent. You are going to get this done. You are going to get this done well. You are going to finish this in the amount of time that you are meant to. You are. The reason I say that is because those are some examples of positive affirmations, and you should say these to yourself every single day, regardless if you have work to do or not. It's just something that you should do for self-care. I recommend saying them in a mirror because it's like you're directly talking to yourself in there and just going, you can do this. You can. When using positive affirmations, to say in the present tense. I am, I can, I don't be like I will, I should, I am going to. You are doing it now, okay? I am doing really well. I am very smart. I am so motivated. Things like that, because that is positive affirmations, and the universe recognizes it as a current thing and will apply it to you in your current state of mind. Can you hear that? It's the call to prayer. With positive affirmations, remember to use positive words only. So don't use words like can't or not. For example, my mom, she tried to say, I am not going to eat any bad food today. And that's really negative, and the universe doesn't recognize negative words, so it just takes it out the negative. So what you have is, I am going to eat unhealthy food today. That's what you get, bad food. I'm going to eat bad food today. So what you do is don't use the not. So instead of saying, I am not going to eat any bad food today, say, I am going to eat healthy today. I am able to resist food that is unhealthy for me, okay? Don't use words like not and can't and don't. It's just not good for anybody to be negative, especially if the whole point of you doing it is for positive affirmations. You can do this. You are a strong and capable woman. You are going to do this, and you are going to do it right. You can finish this thesis. You are finishing 8 chapters today. You are going to do your best to get out of bed today and not fuck this up. You are going to actually get up on the first ring of your alarm. You are not going to do 20 minutes of work and take a 1-hour break. You are not going to go back to sleep. Number 10, which is a bit complicated to explain, and I'm not going to show you how to do it, but I'm just going to put it out there in case you're interested to research it for yourself. And that is enchanting and blessing your equipment. So I really wasn't sure what to film for this part. Like I said, I don't enchant my equipment very much. I don't bless my equipment very much, but there are many websites out there to bless and enchant your equipment if you want. There's blessing your instruments, the same prayers. There's drawing sigils onto your tools and equipment, your notebooks and stuff, which can help to enchant them to enhance your motivation and your production, basically. The same goes for blessing and enchanting. Pretty much, in my opinion, the same thing. It's just some people are more comfortable saying blessing than enchanting, but really it's the same thing. It's putting power into a tool, any tool, and allowing it to harness the power whenever you put into it to increase production and productivity in you and your work. The last thing, which I didn't get to film in the intro part because my mom came home and I grabbed all of my shit and ran to my room, is invoking deities. I don't invoke deities, I'm just not there yet, but I know a lot of witches who do. Not personally, I have no witch friends. I have no friends. But I know a lot of witches online who invoke deities to help them do their work. They invoke, Aphrodite for love. They invoke Archangel Michael for productivity and work. I would recommend deities like the Buddha, who is a renowned teacher. Any god or goddess that resonates with you. I've also heard that Baphomet is a really good teacher. The only thing with Baphomet is it has the same imagery as Satan from the Christian consciousness, so if you're not comfortable with that, then don't use that. Just if you want to invoke deities, use a deity that you are comfortable with, that you know, Mother Mary, Jesus Christ, any of the angels, any god, goddess. Isis was a powerful healer, but she was also a teacher at times, so do your research if you want to properly invoke a deity, but I'm just saying you can do it. I am not here to teach you how to do it. I don't know how to do it. So that is it for this video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it. I did not think that I was going to make something like this, but my friend asked me how I got through my thesis without losing any of my hair, and I was like, maybe other people would like to know as well. So if you're an aspiring witch, or you're just somebody who would like to try something new without judgment, just putting your toe in the water of spirituality and witchcraft, then by all means go ahead and try these 11 tips. I hope you subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos, like this video if you enjoyed it and want me to make more of something similar, and comment down below if you have anything you'd like to share with us. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!